So, hey.
Oh, man.
Bruh.
He needs some milk.
He ruined it. We're supposed to do the whole intro thing, man.
I must have started talking.
I think it's like coffee, man. All right. But anyways, how's it going, everybody? Another day, another episode.
That's right. Rez Marquee with John and Ernie. Happy that you're here. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
I'm
man.
Fired up.
So I was checking out YouTube. You know, I like to watch YouTube and just sometimes I just surf, just in general. I just let it go, man, and see what comes up. But I was watching it this morning, and this white hunter somewhere in the land was threatened by a Bigfoot, like out in the forest. And this Bigfoot came crashing through the forest, and it was, he's like an avid hunter, like 40 years. This guy's not scared of nothing. He was not even scared of bears.
Yeah.
But he came across his trail. These branches were broken off, like at 9 foot height. They're broken off. They're scattered all around. And I guess the Bigfoot was marking his territory.
Yeah.
I guess that's what Bigfoots do. They mark their territory. Kind of like res dogs.
Yeah.
Right? They just put up their leg. They mark their tire. That's theirs now, right? But this Bigfoot was doing that. And then he kept going toward this. He was hunting, right? And all of a sudden he heard some noise, like a scream or a yell. He was, I don't know if it was a yell or a scream, but it was loud. Next thing you know, he started hearing some crashing through the forest, not going away from him, but coming toward him. He goes, most animals, even bears, they will take off, when they smell a human being.
Yeah.
But this creature was coming toward him, and he came close, to where he could. It was like thick brush, and he said the thing when it come out in the open though, it kind of stayed in the bushes.
Wow.
But he did see it, and basically he was describing a Bigfoot. He had an encounter with a Bigfoot, but he didn't want to say that, right? Because people will think you're crazy, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, right? If you saw a Bigfoot, you're Looney Tunes, man.
Yeah.
But more so than ever, I mean, this topic has already been talked about.
Yeah.
Up and down, sideways and forward. But why not? Let's just talk about it, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of my more favorite subjects too, and I noticed a lot of us, guys from the res that love talking about scary things, And,
I know, Reds.
Yeah, dude. I'm one of those, ones
Yeah.
that like to sit there and have a good scare and talk about things. There's so many stories floating around in res, man. It's crazy.
On Bigfoot.
Yeah.
On Rez, yeah.
Yeah. Especially Bigfoot, And it's funny because my one of our youngest daughters, she had took a photo, from where her grandma's house is, kind of like in the far distance. You know how it goes. You need to take a photo and it's like super blurry. It's like everybody takes those crappy photos. But she was trying to take a photo because she thought that she saw somebody walk in the distance. But as she kind of zoomed into it, you could actually see something that looks way bigger than a normal person would be. Like a normal guy. So when we looked at it, I was like, whoa. And we're doing like a comparison with all the trees and stuff around where that thing was walking, and this thing must have been like 8 feet tall, and it was walking.
Man, yeah.
And I really think that she saw something.
Hey, this was what part of the land?
This is down in Shiprock.
Shiprock. Okay.
Yeah.
And those of you who live in Shiprock, right? There's something going on out there along the San Juan, and there's some activity, some activity.
Yeah, well, that's major.
Yeah.
Have
you ever heard anything, or like out there?
Yeah.
Because that's your. Have you heard any kind of screams or anything like that?
Oh, I have. Yeah. I mean, I have some personal experience. I believe in myself. I really believe in Bigfoots. Or something.
I'm kind of the same. I believe there's something out there. It's either I don't know if it's biological.
Do they have a backbone? If yes, they are a vertebrate. If no, they are an invertebrate.
I'm on on the side of it's an animal, it's a creature, biological creature.
Yeah.
Some people think it's supernatural or
I believe that it has some type of power. I know. I remember talking to my grandmother and also my mother-in-law. She's really into that, science fiction stuff, and she kind of had a point that it kind of people are not being able to take photos or actually see it because it has like there's like another portal,
an extraordinary opening in space or time that connects travelers to distant realms.
Like another dimension.
The portal.
They're able to go in and out of these dimensions.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm not really I'm on the fence. That because that takes it into a whole different dimension of supernatural,
right?
Or paranormal. And if he's a biological creature like a gorilla that hasn't been found or whatever, then that they wouldn't be able to go into a portal, right? If it's just another animal.
Yeah.
So see, that's where I kind of get stuck. But there is physical evidence, right? Tracks or even eyewitness, sightings with your own eyeball, or hair or vocalizations, So there's definitely something happening, something there. So what's your story?
My story was it happened a long time ago, dude. It was probably like maybe I'd say probably 15 years ago. As you know, I love fishing.
Yeah.
I love fishing, and we're out fishing with a bunch of buddies, and it was me and my one of my nephews, and we're at a pier out in Salt River in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was late. We used to like night fishing, like midnight. So we went out there one night, and it was around about maybe 10 o'clock, and we set out all the poles, and there's like 3 or 4 other guys that I like to go fishing with for catfish.
Yeah.
So it was a Saturday night. We all went out, set our poles out, and we usually just sit there and just kind of camp out until the first fish bites or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're waiting. My nephew's asleep right by my foot in a kind of a sleeping bag. Everything around us is dark. It's a lake. There's no lights on the pier, nothing. The only light we have is like a little lantern.
Okay.
Sitting right next to my foot. Even that's off, because I don't really leave it on all night because of all the mosquitoes.
Oh yeah.
So we're sitting there, you just hear the waves and you hear the pier kind of hitting against the water, and it's out of nowhere we hear this really loud scream, like man, and you're like right into the canyon and the lake, and you can hear this thing scream so loud it echoed all over across the canyon. And it was, the funny thing, it was 5 of us there. All 5 of us were there, and it was the 4 other guys I was with heard the same thing.
Yeah,
man, it was so loud that I actually made your hair stand up. It was so crazy, and I believe it when those people say, when they talk about their experience hearing that noise. I know exactly what it feels like, because when I hear it on YouTube, I can point out the ones that are authentic from the ones that are not authentic, because the ones I hear are the ones that really just brings me back to that moment.
And it penetrated you, because they say when you hear that roar or whatever, it penetrates.
It affects you.
Yeah,
and it has, and it's something you just don't forget. This was 15 years ago, and just hearing that noise, I think if I heard it again, I would probably just get get in shock.
Because I've seen like some of the vocalizations on YouTube or whatever, and some of them you can tell that's a coyote. It sounds like a coyote. Some of them are very guttural, and deep. Those ones are like no human being can get that. That just that like a lion's roar. And they say that lions and those kind of big cats have that roar that kind of paralyzes their prey. It affects you on a psychological level, whatever, where you just freeze up.
Yeah, and I can honestly say that it did that to me. Even these guys too, man. It was just like this rush of fear that you just can't explain unless you were actually there. Because it's that crazy. That fear just rushes through your body. You get stiff, and you don't know what to do. And the craziest thing about this whole thing, all right, is that we heard this noise and it kept going. It kept making the noise. And so the guy, one of the older gentlemen that was fishing with us, he had a light, like a truck light, that was put in the water because he likes to, gather the shadow of this light. So he pulled it out of the water, and we were looking on the canyon walls to see where the sound was coming from, because we could almost pinpoint it to where it was coming from. So he grabbed this light, and it's like almost like a spotlight.
Yeah.
You know. So he's shining it along the walls, and then he spotted it. We saw it.
Really?
Yeah, crawling up the mountain, the mountainside. He saw it crawling, and it looked like a shadow. And this thing was so huge, and when the light hit it, you could see it crawling up the rock. And then once the light hit it, it stopped.
Oh man!
And then it turned and looked at us. You could see its eyes kind of reflect off the light, and it turned and looked at us. Man, we just freaked out. And we dropped that light, and we just grabbed all our poles, and we just ripped all our lines off, and I just picked up my nephew, and we just bolted out of there, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and the scariest part was the wall for the parking lot was only like 20 feet away from the parking lot.
No
so
way,
you had
close,
you had to get in the truck, and then you had to drive right underneath this, whatever it was that was on the side of the mountain.
Distance wise, how far do you think you were from it?
Like 20 feet.
20 feet?
Yeah.
So that's really close.
The 20 feet was like right where the canyon wall was.
Yeah.
And if anybody's ever been to the Saguaro Lake, you look at the pier in the Saguaro Lake, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like 20 feet parking length. The parking length was 20 feet from the wall. And the wall of the canyon was just straight up.
And this thing was going up it.
Yeah, it was crawling up the rock. Yeah, so I've experienced, I've seen it, I've heard it, and it's crazy.
See, that's the thing. See, now you're, I don't know, you're another person that I've met that has an eyewitness account of Bigfoot. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've never seen Bigfoot, never even heard nothing, never seen a UFO. Maybe I'm blessed in that way. I don't know. But I have zero stories.
They went and cruised by Ernie's place like, that's Ernie. He don't believe in us. Let's just go.
Sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish I had a story, man. I gotta tell other people's stories. I don't know. But but then when I hear people that say like some eyewitnesses, man, they're freaked out, man. They got PTSD. They don't want to go back in the woods ever.
Dude, I can tell you right now that ever since I heard that, none of us went back to go fishing there. And it's been years since we went back. And the funny thing is, we actually went back 10 years after that happened.
Yeah.
And all the guys that I was used to fish with were all there too. And they said they never went back too. They all got affected by it.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, later on, probably like maybe 4 years after we had witnessed that, somebody from Salt River had recorded a noise again from a canyon, but this one was actually on Salt River. It wasn't at Saguaro Lake; it was at Salt River.
Okay.
And it was on the news and everything, and they were recording the noise that they heard. And it was the exact same noise that I heard. Huh? Yeah.
Shoot, that's crazy, man. Because just up north there, and that you don't think of Bigfoot hanging out down in the valley. You know what I mean? In the desert.
An urban Bigfoot.
Tone Oldham Bigfoot. T.O. Bigfoot.
That's a lot of them hanging out on Indian School Road.
I mean, no, I'm talking about like just the environment, right? You think like there's Bigfoot sightings in places that you want to think there'll be a Bigfoot, like in the flatlands of Texas or whatever, But I guess this creature can pretty much adapt to any kind of environment, including the desert, the Sonoran Desert. So, I heard one story from like in our travels with doing comedy, different reservations. That's some of the questions I ask. Like one time I was in British Columbia, right? And there's a lot of Victoria Island, right? A lot of sightings there. Bigfoot hotspot, right? Yeah. And the guy picked us up at the airport, me and James Jones, and we're doing a comedy. So we're just kidding around, man. We're talking about Bigfoot and stuff. And we asked the guy jokingly, like, "Hey, man, have you ever seen Bigfoot?" And he's all like, "Yeah, one came out of the water and freaked out a bunch of people." Me and James were like, and he was serious too. Me and James were like, and we're like, "Oh, okay, well, serious, man." Yeah, exactly. We were joking around like, "Hey, man, you ever seen Bigfoot?" Yeah, one came out of the water and freaked out everybody. Me and James were like,
I can just imagine that.
He was serious, man.
I'd be like,
yeah, we're like, oh, okay, it's not a joke. It's not a joke here, okay?
This guy's serious.
And then the guy that hired us, we hung out with him for a couple of days, and he took us around the neighborhood there, and he told us some stories too, man. In fact, there's a certain area where they don't go. He goes, because that side of the river, that's Bigfoot's country over there. We don't go over there, and they're serious, man.
Yeah. The crazy thing about Bigfoot is they have all these documentaries, right?
Yeah.
All these documentaries on Bigfoot, and every one of them seems to say Finding Bigfoot or something about Bigfoot, and you're always drawn to the video or the show, hoping that they find Bigfoot, but they never do.
They never will, too.
You know?
Yeah, Finding Bigfoot. They'll never find him because if that's it, the season's over, man. The show is over, right? Dang it, we found him.
And the funny thing is, you already know they're not going to find Bigfoot because it would have ended up on the news, but you watch it anyway.
Yeah, we keep watching it. Man,
you're disappointed, like,
there's another one, this show, Expedition Bigfoot, right? I watched 3 seasons. They never found nothing yet. And I keep watching it, man. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
I'm so desperate to see, to see the guy, up close. But then the other side of it, right? There's this other guy, Todd Standing, right? Crystal clear pictures of Bigfoot video, but no, the world doesn't believe him. You know what I mean? Have you seen those?
I think so. Yeah.
It's those ones he looks like a big, close up face.
Yeah,
do you think that's real?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because my whole take on that is, if it is real, nobody's going to believe you anyway. This is how bad it's become. There's so much, CG and all that crap going around that nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah, and then Todd Standing, that happened to him.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I gave you evidence. No one believed me.
Yeah, I mean, it's time for Bigfoot to get out of the woodworks and just say, "Hey, bro, dude, they don't even believe you anyway. Let's have some coffee." I could literally be sitting here with Bigfoot having a coffee, dude, look, it's Bigfoot.
It's Bigfoot. Okay, he came out. He's here,
and he's like,
yeah. And that means I don't eat jerky. I am out of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I could use more coffee.
Yeah, I could use a lot more coffee.
Hey, why don't you follow us to Gallup Coffee Company, and we'll have some more coffee there.
Yep.
Come join us. Hey, John and Ernie here. What do you guys up to, man? Just ministry?
Yeah, we're praying for people.
Okay, nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Well,
I like the energy.
We started a YouTube channel called Marquee. We're just showcasing creative entertainment, businesses,
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
go ahead. Let's go. What's your ministry? Do you guys have a...
So we're from the New Life Apostolic Church. It's the old one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. All right, 3, 2, 1. I'll take you to right here. Oh, there, wait,
Yo, man, how about that little episode? Huh? That was totally unexpected.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I mean, I truly feel that it was a calling.
Yeah.
Like Ernie and I are right on the right path.
That's right.
So that was very uplifting for me. It was very positive, and we weren't expecting it at all. That was just happened so.
Yeah, so divinely.
Yeah. So thanks to those guys. We are here at the Gallup Coffee Company. actually kind of backwards, but if you're in the Gallup area, come on, check it out. It's good enough for Ernie.
That's where I come from.
All right. So I got myself a little small cup of coffee here. Oh, okay. So we get our own drinks. I think I'm lost. Oh my gosh.
So I'm still wearing the mask, just to make people feel comfortable. But I just the coffee shop here too was also re-renovated. It used to be next door.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I was about to go into this next one, but they moved over.
It's
It used to be an old bank, and we were convinced that it was a loan company, but it turns out that it was not, as evidence from a 1954 yearbook that was presented by one of our customers. And it turns out this place used to be called Merlot Bank. So reason why for the whole vault and why we didn't want to tear it down, it was just either a lot of work or a lot of trade down. So we were just like, you know what, let's make it into a storage room, you know?
Yeah.
Keep everything nice and fresh there. So it's honestly really wild to find out this was a bank rather than it not be a bank. So honestly, what a world, right?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You take a look at their vault right there.
and can we get maybe a little pan in there?
Yeah.
Let's just go take a little pan and check that.
Wow, take a look at this. This is crazy.
That's how valuable this coffee is. It's got a burger.
No expense for a fee.
That's it.
This is some serious stuff. So what we're about to do is we're about to go into this container here that holds the most rarest coffee in the world.
Ooh-wee. There it is.
I mean, look at how thick this thing is. Oh my God, it's crazy. But
That
no,
is
the coffee's not so super rare, but you know, of course it's, you know, you can't ask for better protection for your coffee. But basically this is where they store all their coffee, is inside a vault, a real vault. Look at that.
And the ceiling's original.
Yeah, everything's pretty much all original. We just kind of touch it up, so make it nice, look pretty, and then we added a whole lot of floor just to give it a nice bit of greenery. And with the addition of all these windows, it's it's really what brings it all together. So
I like it. I like the new setup. Yeah.
thank you.
Sure. So I got a breve latte, which is steamed cream and 2 shots of espresso.
Whoa.
It's good. It is. I know. I thought Italy coffee was like here. This is pretty close, right?
Yeah, I got the Americano. I don't know if I should be holding this right now, but it looks pretty hot. I gotta put some cream in mine. But look at, they also have merchandise too. So they have shirts. Looks pretty awesome. A whole line of shirts, sweaters. You know, they even have cups. Those are cool.
And they got their own coffee. They have their own coffee over there. Check this out. There's Gallup Coffee Company coffee.
So you see they have different stuff there. There's some lunatics. More coffee.
That brick says Gallup on it.
Look at this old brick. You can see it actually has Gallup on it. It's really cool. Historical stuff. A lot of history.
That's what we like to do. Marquee, is just, excuse me.
Excuse you, but Gallup Coffee Company. So if you're ever in Gallup, they are right across the Ultra Health and the Intertribal Ceremonial Office.
Who's next to that morning?
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Take care and God bless.
Yes.
Riz Marquee.
John and Ernie.